Hey everyone, welcome back. So in the previous video, we learned about if-else condition, Elif condition. We came to know about what are flowcharts, okay? And in today's video, we are going to learn about how we can find max out of three numbers, okay? Also, we are going to make use of functions over here. So we are going to pass three arguments, and the function is going to take three inputs. And out of those, we are going to check which one is the greatest one, right? So let's get started with this, and we are going to jump to the Visual Studio Code. So let me create a new file over here and we are going to name it as max.py. Okay. And let me close the remaining ones. Okay. So yeah. So in order to define a function, what are the keywords that we are going to use is it is a def space the function name, and here the function name would be max. And how many values are we passing over here? That would be number one, comma number two, comma number three. Okay, so these are the three values which we have, which we want to take as an input, and then here we will write the specify the condition that what are the sort of condition that we want to put, right? So in order to find the max out of three numbers, we are going to compare each numbers by the remaining two. Okay, and how we are supposed to do that? Here we go. So it would be if number one is greater than number two, and then we are going to merge two statement, right? So in order to merge two statement, and if both of them are true, then it is going to execute the next line, right? And in order to do that, we are going to make use of bitwise operator, and that is and. Okay, so if number one is greater than number two, and if number one is also greater than number three, if both of these conditions are satisfying, then we are going to print that the number a is greater, right? And that would be number one. Let me replace the single quotes by double. Okay. So what we have done is we have compared number one with number two and number three, right? And we have connected both of the situations with and operator. Okay. And that comes under bitwise. And we already know that bitwise consists of and, or, and not, right? So here we made use of and. Okay. Coming up to the next part, we are going to compare the second number with the remaining two, that is number 2 is greater than number 1. The second condition we'll compare it with number 3, and number 2 greater than number 3. So if this condition is satisfied, then we are going to execute the set of statement that we are about to print. So here it is, the number p is greater, and we are going to print the number as well. So here it will be number 2. Okay. Now the last one, we are going to make use of else here, not elif. Okay. So if all of the above condition are not satisfying, which means the number th three is greater than the above two, right? So here we are going to print the normal statement that the number c is greater. Okay. And here we'll specify number three. Okay. Now our function is created, and in order to call the function, we just need to type max, and here we'll pass the numbers. Okay. So it would be 45, 65, and the number 3 would be 12. Okay, and now when we execute the program, you can see it is showing that number b is greater out of these two. Okay, now let us interchange the value. Let us make 45 as 145. Okay, and now when we execute the program, it should show that number a is greater, which is 45, 145, right? Okay, now let us change this and make 112 as 122, and let's change 145 to 45 back. And now when we execute the program, it should show that C is greater. Here there is a typo, and let me correct it. So yeah, okay. Now when we execute the program, we are getting the correct output, right? So it is the number C is greater. Okay. Hope you got today's video. What we did is we just defined one function. We took three inputs from the user, and that is we passed the argument that is 45, 65, and 112. it passed into number one, number two, and number three accordingly. And then we defined an Elif block. Okay, here we considered a scenario where we compared two numbers with the remaining two. So number one was compared with number two and three, and then a statement was printed. So if that condition is not satisfying the current need, then we pushed forward to the Elif block and we compared number two with one and three. And if that was satisfying, then we were executing that particular statement. If not, the third block was there, and which was printing that if both the above condition are not satisfying, then we'll execute the default one, which means that number three, which is C, is greater than the number one and number two. All right. Hope you watched today's video and see you in the next lecture. Thank you.